Every race has odds. There will be winners and losers. But what are the odds when the race is against time itself? This particular race began over 50 years ago when thousands of Newfoundland ponies roamed in herds across the Newfoundland countryside. A unique breed developed over the centuries through interactions with this harsh landscape and its people. They were a self-sufficient breed, drinking brackish water, eating kelp and other seaweed, living to serve and help humans. Helping people was part of their nature, their very character, perhaps their DNA. They helped pull wagons, haul wood, cultivate, and when their chores for the day were finished, they were simply released back into a herd. There were no pens or corrals. The only fences in Newfoundland at the time were around gardens to keep the ponies out, not in. For hundreds of years, these ponies and people worked together until time entered the race with the first tractor in Newfoundland. Then another tractor and a truck. Time is fast and unrelenting. In a few years, the ponies that had helped to sustain human life on this rock were themselves deemed a nuisance.
So over time, automobiles came to the island, tractors came to the island, and they got to be a nuisance. And so the government said you got to fence them in the 1960s, I believe. But nobody could afford to fence them. No one could afford to feed them because they went and foraged and got their own food. And so people on the mainland got smart and came out, they were a nuisance, and started rounding them up 50 at a time. And they took them to slaughterhouses when many of the owners thought that they were going to stables on the mainland. But they slaughtered them. They went down to about 100. In the 1990s, they discovered there was only maybe about 100 on the island. But yeah, that's what happened to them.
Today, there are only around 500 Newfoundland ponies left, 250 breeding animals. These amazing creatures are on the cutting edge of extinction, but their charm and character and intelligence may be what helps save them. Emily Aho wanted a companion pony for her horse and accidentally purchased a Newfoundland pony. It was no big deal until she fell in love and purchased another one, and then another, until she founded the Newfoundland Pony Conservancy Center. The center's 25 ponies represent 5% of the existing population on our planet Earth today.
Anything under 2,000 animals are critically endangered in the horse world. So they have a long ways to go. We don't cull. We don't breed for specific things. We don't add outside blood because we don't have to. They're so genetically diverse. They're a mix of so many old breeds that have now been changed. They're so healthy. We don't have to do that. So we're teaching and promoting conservation. So I know this year there have been 10. There have been 10. That's in the world. That's not in the United States. There have been 0 in the United States this year. Last year, maybe 5 years, has been maybe 2 per year. So that's what we're talking about. So we face a lot of challenges. And it's really hard when the rescues don't understand and they're loaded with all these throwaway breeds. And then you go, this one's really special, Well, what's it? It's a pony, but to tell the story quickly is very difficult on why we need to save them.
For hundreds of years, these animals help sustain human life. Today, it is humans that are critical to their survival. Without our help, they will lose their race with time and simply disappear.